Hi everybody, it's Irene here for you, and thank you so much for joining us on these interviews. And today I am joined by a very inspirational, motivational and amazing, beautiful, fantastic. There are not enough good words that I can bring out of my mouth to say how amazing this lady is. But we are joined by the fantastic Natalie Mckerrigan. Hi Natalie.
Hi Irene. Thank you for a wonderful welcome. How are you? You all right?
I'm really good, thank you, and it's so fab to be connecting with you on here. As always, I always love speaking to you. So, for those of you that don't know Natalie, would you do me the honour of basically telling everybody a bit about who you are, your background, where you're from, what you did or what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Natalie Mckerrigan, as I've just been so brilliantly introduced. I'm actually from Chester in the UK. But I could currently reside in Tenerife, in the Canary Islands. Prior to being here, I lived in London for 8 years. I worked in general management in corporate companies, working for serviced office spaces. I left that. When did I leave that? Gosh, last year, and decided to start my own digital online business, which I'm currently doing now from Tenerife, which is wonderfully sunny at the moment, I'm very pleased to say. And yeah, so I'm currently just working on my digital business over here remotely.
Fantastic. And so can I ask then, when you were in that environment working a full-time job, what would your day-to-day look like? What I mean by that is, like, what time were you getting up, or what time were you working till? What were you having to do that job?
Oh wow, okay. Well, anyone who works in London or lives in London or knows London, it's really high paced. My job would entail extremely early mornings, so I get up at 5. I'm very much into my fitness, so I try and fit some exercise in the morning, a run or something, and then I'd be getting ready and off to work around 7 a.m. To then start my day, which consisted of a million different things. General management is very broad, and it was a very fast-paced company that I worked for. So I'd work all day across London, and then probably get home about 8 o'clock at night. But then I found myself working then at home from about 8 till about 10:30. So there was always something to do. The day wasn't enough. However good your time management was, it was just never enough to fill, to get done what you needed to do. So it was very long hours. It was very tough hours. You became very much robotic in how you kind of worked. And yeah, so that would be my day, and a lot of Saturdays as well, unfortunately. But it was long hours, Irene.
Okay, so that leads me into the next question, actually, which is, so what made you walk away from that at this moment in life? What made you look for an alternative way of working?
Well, firstly, I moved to London because I love the city, and I think it's the most incredible city ever. So anyone who lives there, I appreciate it so much. But because I was working such long hours, completely lost my relationship with the city. I didn't have any life. I was just working constantly. It was jeopardizing a lot of things. So friendships, social life, mental health. It really burnt me out, and it got to the point where I just couldn't. I just physically couldn't do it anymore in some ways, mentally and physically. And enough was enough. It just got to the point where it was like, what am I doing with my life? I've been doing this for so long. I feel guilty when I go on holiday. I feel guilty when I have time off. And even when I do have time off, I'm working on my time off. My emails are constantly on my phone. They're constantly coming through. And I had a big team, so I also didn't like to let them down. Because obviously they needed my support, and when I wasn't there, I couldn't support them, and it just became too much. And I thought, enough is enough. I'm 30. I was 37 at the time, and it was just like, what am I doing with my life? my life's, it's there for living basically. So I left, basically. That's literally how it was. I just left. I left, and I didn't go back. And it's the best thing that I ever did, or I could think of ever doing. So yeah.
Do you know what? I could go as far as to say, because it's very similar to, not the same job, but like very similar to me. And it's not even so much just the physical pressure of there's no time to do anything. It's a psychology and the mental pressure on it. I say that all the time. You know, that was one of the hardest things for me to deal with, worrying about letting people down or worrying. So I completely understand it, and that's a really big, brave thing to do. So congratulations on that. So
thank you.
What so you're not in London anymore. You are now living. You're currently residing at this precise moment in time in Tenerife.
Yes. Yeah, I am.
So what does life look like for you now?
So when I left my job in London, I had to do something, because obviously you can't just do nothing, however lovely that would be. So I started an online business, and now my days are kind of run as I want them to be. I work when I want, I work where I want. I can work in a cafe, on the beach, I can work on the beach, which I tend not to do because you get sand in your phone basically. But yeah, so I can do, well, I run my own life now, which is just so liberating. And as you were just saying then, the stresses that I felt, and the worry, and we all have worry. Everyone worries. We all have worries, big or small, but nothing's, I'm controlling them now. I'm controlling what I'm doing and what I'm thinking of and what I'm concerned about and how my day goes basically. So yeah, it's I've chosen a path that I drive, I control basically, and it's very nice. It's very liberating.
I love watching all the exercise doing, because you are fantastic at that, and you openly share that with other people. You're also learning to speak Spanish.
I am.
It's just so amazing, because what I often think in life, sometimes we end up just working non-stop, that we don't focus on any passions or desires that we want. But you've just made the decision to basically step out of the hamster wheel of life and focus on things that you do want to do.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just think that's incredible. So I was going to say, what's your favorite thing about it? But you've already answered that by saying, you know what, your definition of success is being able to do things when you want to do them on your own terms. And so, you've absolutely nailed it. So if, what would you say to somebody who was looking at working in the online space, and what you're, in the current business that we're working in, what would you say to somebody that might be looking at that?
Well, kind of going a little bit back to what you were saying about the Spanish as well. The best thing for me, and what I would say to someone else who's thinking about doing an online business, is it frees you up to not only have that business, have that income, have that security, or have that system behind you. You can also expand your knowledge in other areas as well. So like you said, I'm learning Spanish. I'm also doing a cognitive behavioral therapy course. So I'm doing a course that's something I've really been passionate about in my life, coaching, therapy, everything like that, because of coming from my time in London, really, because I didn't know how to help myself when I was going through all this stressful time. And I didn't have time to go and get help from other people because I was constantly working. And so it's always been a passion. So it's if you are thinking about doing it, being motivated and being driven to work for yourself, have a great community as well. It's another thing that comes with this business that I've got. You make new friends, you have time to expand your knowledge in areas, you have time to go wherever you want to go. You have that, you know, all I can really say is just, if you want to control your own life and you don't want to be driven by someone else, and you don't want to have to answer to someone else, and you want to, you know, make your own success, then it's perfect. It's really perfect.
Yeah.
I never look back, really. I don't even know if I answered your question then, Irene.
No,
I just went off on a tangent.
You answered it perfectly, because it's something I often say to people, you know, if you want to make changes in your life, we kind of have to, regardless of this, take responsibility, step outside, and we have to make changes. I think the thing is, what we do, it is a vehicle, it's an opportunity, it's like a step into business that anyone could do with no experience whatsoever.
Absolutely.
And the reality is you can take it as slow or as quick as you like, and make and take from it what you want. So yeah, exactly. No, that's absolutely that's fantastic. And it's true, isn't it? You know, if we want to make the changes, we have to make them. This just happens to be a step into business, so to speak, that people can, with no experience, can start. And that was I think that was a big thing for me, because I had no idea about the online space.
No, I didn't.
That's where everything is going now. Absolutely everything. So fantastic. Okay, right, well, thank you so much for joining me. If you have been watching this interview, you will see somewhere around this video right now a link to click on, and one of the things we have is a free workshop that people can actually watch, which explains how people are having success online. So that's free to watch. So simply, you know, click on that link. It'll ask you for your name and your email address. That is so we can send it over to you, and you can watch it. It's absolutely free to watch. And if it's not for you, no problem at all. And if it is for you, then fantastic. It's just a way of broadening people's horizons and having a look, especially if they want to get in the online space.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me. What are you going to be doing today?
I actually have I got a Zoom quiz with my friends tonight, so I've actually got to write some quiz questions, because I did one that was far too difficult the other day, so I'm going to do another one. I'm going to also be doing some of my training, my online training today, and I've got some stuff I've got to do with, I want to do on my business. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today, in the sunshine, hopefully.
Enjoy it. I was about to say, I can see that sun peeking in, so that's brilliant. Thank you so much, my lovely. Great to have you, and we will see you all again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.